He's one of the greatest boxers, if not the greatest boxer in history. He's absolutely sensational. But he retired years ago. And for me personally, I know these exhibition matches are entertaining. I like the one with Conor McGregor, not so much the one with Logan Paul. I just see some of these things, and this is just my personal feeling. This is not a movie. This is not Rocky 3, where Rocky is going against Thunderbolt, who that was his name, or Hulk Hogan, okay?
Floyd is not interested in boxing anymore.
Okay.
So he's interested in cashing in on events.
Before he wants an exhibition with me, but I disagree, and I don't want to fight with exhibition with him. I want to fight a real fight like this. So this is it. This is what I'm waiting for.
Okay, stop scrolling. Because what I'm about to tell you is the kind of story that makes you grip your phone and go, wait, what? And I need you to stay with me because this is not just a boxing story.
I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff is got it.
This is allegedly a masterclass in mind games, legal chess, and the most expensive ego battle in the history of sports entertainment. And yes, I said allegedly, because every single thing I am about to share with you comes from reports, online speculation, and fan analysis.
This is just a selling point. I think ultimately Mayweather has to agree to whatever the contract is. If it's a fight, I think one of the comments the other day really made a point that, one of the comments in our chat made a point that, has really stuck with me. Mayweather has to know the terms he agreed to. Come on, I mean, you can't just sign something and not know those terms. You gotta know that if it is, in fact, it has to be a fight, then he would do this. And he knows he's got to go through with a fight. He may just be saying this just to sell the fight in general, just to sell it as, make it a talking point, make it a controversial point, so that people want to wind up, talking about it more. It becomes a topic of discussion, and then from that perspective, people end up watching. More people end up watching it because it becomes more of a polarizing topic of conversation. So I don't know. I see this eventually getting straightened out. I think it has to. I mean, Floyd has to fight right now. I think Mayweather probably wants to fight right now. I mean, Mayweather wants to fight and probably has to fight right now, and Pacquiao seems to want to and have to as well. So in one way or another.
But the pattern? The pattern is something else entirely. So let's talk about Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao, two names that should not be in the same headline again in 2025, yet here we are, and the tea, scalding, because according to multiple reports, the contract for their rematch was allegedly signed. A real professional record-counting fight contract.
Hey, by chance, did you see what Floyd said? I think he might saying that he feels it's an exhibition and not a real fight.
Is that what he's feeling? But he signed a real fight.
So it's for sure.
Yes, the contract that we signed is a real fight.
Real fight, okay. Yeah, because I know he said...
I want to fight an exhibition.
No exhibition. It's either real fight or nothing.
Yeah, it's a real fight. Yeah.
The Sphere still in Las Vegas?
That's the contract that he signed. I mean.
Yeah. Okay, so it's still happening then.
He has to remember that.
But it's still on? It's still happening?
Oh yeah, we did sign the contract already, so there's no reason why,
Why wouldn't?
Why wouldn't,
Yeah, all right. Look good. You look already in shape. What adjustments do you think you're gonna make for the rematch? Adjustments compared to the first fight.
I have the improved and better strategy compared to the last one.
And then, out of nowhere, Floyd Mayweather Jr. walks up to a microphone and casually calls it an exhibition, like he just forgot the paperwork existed. And you have to ask yourself, does a man worth hundreds of millions of dollars forget things like that? Or, and stay with me, is this the opening move of a game that started way before any of us noticed?
Contract in terms of what Mayweather had to say the fight weekend of Fundora and Thurman. Apparently he did an interview, said that it was an exhibition, that these guys didn't have anything to prove, that their legends were already set in stone, and that it would be an exhibition. He wasn't sure if it was going to be at the Sphere. Apparently, that is not true. According to a Boxing Scene article that interviewed Jazz Mathur, the CEO of Manny Pacquiao Promotions, said that, yes, the fight is contracted for the Sphere, booked at the Sphere, scheduled at the Sphere for September 19th. It is booked as a professional fight. not as an exhibition. It was never booked as an exhibition, which makes sense because Netflix got behind it, and I would assume that they would not want an exhibition. We said the other day, I think it was actually yesterday, we said that this fight has to be a real fight and not an exhibition because one, Netflix is involved, two, Manny Pacquiao wants that get back, and two, also just betting lines. It's a huge aspect of this sport, and this kind of fight is going to generate a ton.
Because here's what the internet is saying and what analysts have been quietly pointing out for months. Floyd Mayweather does not make mistakes in front of cameras, he makes choices. And his choice to label this fight an exhibition while reportedly a contract is sitting in a drawer somewhere is either the boldest negotiating move in sports history, or wait for it.
So Pacquiao is the active, sharper fighter by the time he fights Floyd in a rematch, and Floyd would be in danger of being stopped. And in that fight, there is a very good chance that Pacquiao will stop Floyd Mayweather.
Maybe if he come out to retirement, then we'll have a Mayweather Pacquiao too.
Would you do an exhibition with him, or would you potentially entertain an exhibition with someone like maybe a Conor McGregor?
No, I don't like exhibition. Like I want if Mayweather is my opponent, I don't like exhibition. Like I want fight. Like there's a
Something much more calculated than anyone is giving him credit for. And this is where it starts to get interesting, because Stephen A. Smith, who very rarely holds back, allegedly went on air and called Floyd out directly, suggesting that if Mayweather truly agreed to a professional fight and is now publicly reframing it as an exhibition, that is not confusion. That is allegedly a strategy, and Max Kellerman agreed.
Has already taken a cash advance payment of his purse for the upcoming Manny Pacquiao rematch on Netflix, despite it currently being in jeopardy. I don't even know how that's possible. Who gave him a cash advance before they even got to the fight? I understand like paying some up front to secure the fight, but paying everything? Maybe it's not what it is. Maybe the cash advance is like partially. But still, what? So if this is to be believed, and this is via ESPN, this is not, random Twitter person reporting this. I think Mike Coppinger also reported the same thing. If this is to be believed, Floyd took a cash advance and then undermined the promotion of his own fight to try to protect his 50-0 record and still make a bet.
And when those two agree on something, you pay attention. Because the suggestion being floated online is that Floyd, the man who reportedly went 50-0, the man who built an entire brand around being untouchable, may allegedly be protecting that record not with his fist this time, but with his words. And before you dismiss that,
when you're that great and you're that elite, no one not just anyone deserves to be in the ring with you, even if you are retired, even if it is for exhibition purposes. A lot of people out there wish they could be in the ring, on a basketball court with a LeBron James. All right? You don't deserve it. You're not him. You're not on his level. He's so elite. He's so phenomenal. You don't deserve to be in that arena with him unless you've earned it. So that's just how I look at it. These exhibitions and all of that stuff, that little melee and stuff don't matter to me. As far as I'm concerned, it could have potentially been orchestrated. I don't know. But I do know not just anybody should be allowed to be in the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather.
think about it. Think about what it means to go from 50-0 to 50-1 on a professional record versus what it means to lose an exhibition that nobody officially counts. Catch that? And Manny Pacquiao. God bless this man.
Floyd was like, well, actually, from the fighter's point of view, my best interest is take minimal risk, maximum reward, not get hit, get out with all my money and all my marbles, right? Like, that's in the fighter's best interest. Fighters and fans' interests diametrically opposed. And so what Floyd figured out after a while, for example, with Pacquiao, Stephen A., is I don't have to fight this dude at the height of his powers. I can wait. Okay, I'll fight him now. Now there's pent-up demand. I got to make 5 times more than I would have made back then to fight a guy who's not as dangerous as he was back then. That's smart. And then what he realized is, wait a minute, because Conor McGregor's rise, I don't even have to fight fighters, boxers. I can fight dudes who don't box and make $100 million. Now, what fool wouldn't do that if he could? Why fight a guy who's trained his whole life to box you for $30 million when you can fight a guy who hasn't trained his whole life boxing for $100 million? Well, of course, Floyd's right about that, so that's what he did. And since then, he's realized, Stephen A., he never has to get in the ring with a dude who's trained his whole life to box and he can make money. Whether it's a Japanese kickboxer, right, who's smaller than him, whether it's Logan Paul, who's a YouTube star who's twice his size, it doesn't matter. If you haven't trained in boxing your whole life, it's easy work for Floyd at any age, and he's going to make tens and tens of millions.
Is allegedly not playing along at all because, according to reports, Pacquiao's team came out swinging, not with punches, but with receipts, reportedly stating that a real professional fight contract exists, that it is documented, and that the fight is, quote, real fight or nothing, which is such an iconic response that I want it on a t-shirt.
One of the most detrimental moments in Floyd Mayweather's career. Floyd Mayweather is back. Iron Mike Zambitis is actually from K1. And this dude was a monster. From the highlights I've seen, he would walk up to you, fire off combinations, and send your chin into the fourth dimension. Here's the only problem. His last fight was 10 years ago. So I don't expect Zambitis to, put on a masterful performance against Mayweather and beat him. But I also don't expect Mayweather to do a lot of damage to Zambitis. Mayweather's 48 years old. Mike Zambitis is 45 years old. If Mike Zambitis comes in and he's got that, quick style where he can just unload pressure on Floyd Mayweather, again, this could be a huge moment for Zambitis and a detrimental moment for Mayweather. So, what do you think of Floyd Money Mayweather versus Iron Mike Zambitis?
Because Pacquiao is not out here chasing exhibition paychecks. Reports suggest he is chasing legacy, which means he needs this fight to count, which means if Mayweather is allegedly trying to quietly shift this into exhibition territory, Pacquiao's team calling that out publicly is not just PR, it is allegedly breach territory.
Man is going to match up to the expectations.
Better. I think that demand-wise, look, people are always going to have comments. They're always going to have something to say. A lot of people are excited. A lot of people are saying, oh, this fight's not going to do that great. Or why are they doing this? They're so old. They're this, that. Those are going to be the first people that are going to want to watch it. I think leading up closer to the fight, when people start seeing their training camp videos, then they're going to be like, wow, like this is not a joke. These guys are in serious conditioning, right? Because a lot of time you see boxers, they're in their early 20s, they're great. And when they hit their mid 30s, they're completely out and they just can't continue anymore. These guys are different. They're built different. They are different. There's a reason why they're global icons.
And that is a word that carries weight. But here's the twist that nobody is really sitting with. Because Floyd's team has been, according to promoters close to the situation, fully insisting that this fight is still going ahead as a professional bout with real rounds, real gloves, a real weight class being finalized, which means either Floyd's exhibition comments were a one-time misdirection, or, and this is
some of the key particulars as well. How many rounds is the fight? What weight will it be contested at? What ounce gloves will be used? Can you share some details there?
So 10 to 12 rounds, 8-ounce gloves. The weight has not been confirmed yet. Okay, we're still waiting on Floyd's side for this one, but it'll be about, we're hoping around 147 is what Manny wants.
Gotcha. And it sounds like the rounds could be either 10 or 12?
10 or 12, yeah.
And these will be 3-minute rounds?
Yeah.
the theory spreading fastest in boxing circles online. This was a deliberate controversy designed to make this fight trend, generate headlines, pull in casual fans who otherwise wouldn't care, and essentially run a marketing campaign using confusion as the currency. Think about that. You don't need to spend $1 on advertising if the entire internet is debating whether your event is real or not. And look,
when people say the biggest fight in boxing history, you know, if you don't adjust for inflation, et cetera, or tickets sold, et cetera, you know, Joe Louis and Max Schmeling, the rematch, Ali and Frazier, the first fight, these were the biggest fights in boxing history. But Mayweather and Pacquiao was easily the biggest fight of its era, of the generation. And it was the highest grossing fight of all time.
Sure.
Because it 4.4 million pay-per-view buys at $100 a pop. Do the math, right? It's interesting because Netflix is obviously in the business of, you said, eventizing.
Yes.
Everyone, they want enormous events that become shared experiences. In a way, in this day and age, partly because of delivery systems of content like Netflix, everything is so niche. You know, everything is so compartmentalized that there's very few shared experiences. It's one of the reasons that the NFL.
This is entertainment, this is speculation, this is fans and analysts connecting dots that may or may not form a picture. But the pattern that critics like Max Kellerman have been pointing to is this. Floyd Mayweather allegedly spends the back half of his career engineering fights against YouTubers, MMA crossovers, and exhibition opponents.
What happened in Mayweather Pacquiao? Are you interested in it?
Yep.
Is it a good fight?
Yeah.
I'll be watching.
Watch it. The first one was awful, but now they're 50 years old. Let's see it.
But why though? But you didn't like the first time.
No, I didn't.
I'm not watching the second.
You didn't like that, man?
No, the first
Oh
fight.
yeah, I forgot.
So when they wasn't grandpas,
I know you
No,
didn't
it wasn't
like
grandpa.
it.
By the way,
like it.
that fight went more or less how I thought it would go. I always thought it would go that way.
But you like Pacquiao more.
No, I didn't like the fact that it
Who's
was a
your
diminished
favorite fighter, Pacquiao or Floyd?
Come on, we know it's Pacquiao.
favorite?
No,
I know
Pacquiao.
Actually, Floyd. Watching Floyd fight is actually more my style of that perfect boxer.
That's what
when I do a pound for pound ranking, I'm trying to be objective. Pacquiao jumped more weight classes. What he did pound for pound to me was more impressive.
But you have him over Floyd.
But I never thought Pacquiao was going to beat Floyd.
High reward, low risk, massive paydays, zero chance of losing a professional record. And now, suddenly, he is allegedly stepping back into the ring with the one man who, according to Kellerman, could hypothetically stop him in a rematch. A Pacquiao.
I don't need somebody to push me to work hard, work more, but I did. I always put that in my mind when I'm in training. I have to do extra mile to get that condition. Like for example, my fight is 12 rounds, so I'm doing 30 rounds, at least 30 to 36 rounds every day. So that's that's 30 rounds and 36 rounds that's a hard push, like not like taking lightly, but just push 30 rounds. So when I get to the ring, so whatever happens, I have stamina, I have gas, whatever happens. So that's the makes the fans happy and enjoy the show because of action. If I'm a fan, if I'm a fan, I'm going to watch a fight. So I want to see a fight that more on action because that's what I want.
Now, who is reportedly sharper, recently active, and fighting at a relentless pace that aging legs allegedly struggle to deal with. And so the question the internet is screaming is the exhibition framing Floyd's exit strategy if the fight stops looking favorable? Is it a legal shield, a PR cushion, or is it genuinely just noise? And this fight lands as a professional mega event.
Manny, you mentioned not being 100% the first time around. I think it was a shoulder, right? Was it a shoulder issue that you were fighting through, popped up during training? To the fans who are excited about this, but a little bit worried about another injury coming up because we're all 11 years older than we were back in 2015. To them and their concerns, you say what?
Well, both of us are disciplined fighters, so him and me, we taking care of our body, and we always work out almost every day and playing basketball like that. So right now, I still can fight. I feel like I'm still young. I mean.
Yeah. And we all look silly for overthinking it. I genuinely do not know. And neither does anyone outside that inner circle. And that uncertainty, that is the product. That is the show before the show. Because at the end of the day, and I want you to really sit with this final part, both of these men are all-time greats, and that is not up for debate. Floyd with a reportedly perfect professional record and a legacy built on technical precision that analysts call generationally rare. Pacquiao, with a resume that spans 8 weight classes and fights that required a level of risk-taking that Floyd allegedly never needed to match. And the debate over whose legacy ranks higher has been running since 2015, when their first fight allegedly underwhelmed everyone who expected fireworks and got a chess match. But here is the twist that reframes this entire story. The one thing that snaps everything into focus. What if this rematch, this circus, this exhibition, or is it drama? What if all of it? The contract confusion, the public back and forth, Pacquiao's team threatening breach, Floyd's allegedly cryptic interviews. What if none of it is chaos? What if this is the most controlled, most deliberate, most perfectly engineered piece of sports theater in modern history? And both camps know exactly what they're doing, and the only people genuinely confused are us, the audience, clicking every article, watching every reaction video, debating in every comment section, which, by the way, is exactly what you are about to do right now. Because I need to know, do you think Floyd Mayweather allegedly designed this entire controversy on purpose? Or is Pacquiao the only one in this situation playing it completely straight? Drop it below, because something about this story is still not adding up. And I think you already know which part. And that's all the tea for today. If your jaw is still on the floor, good. That means we did our job. Smash that like button before Floyd allegedly reframes it as an exhibition click. Subscribe because this channel does not do exhibition content. We do the real fight every single time. And drop a comment telling me one word: Floyd or Pac. Because I need to see where this community stands. All right, stay dangerous, stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next one.